Welcome everyone
related to Austin Tyler
to the
today.
City of Joliet City Council meeting here Monday, February 2nd at 5:30.
Mike's not out.
Turn his mic on.
Terry Darcy, our mayor, will be leading the group.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy.
Here.
Councilman Cardenas.
Here.
Councilman Clement.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra is absent. She did let me know she would not be in attendance this evening. Councilman Moreno.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
First, we have a presentation. Peregrine Technologies presented by Deputy Chief Boatsam.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm here with representatives from Peregrine Technologies to represent a data integration platform to help the Joliet Police Department, the city, and our residents to get more value from the technology we already own. The goal of this recommendation is straightforward: to connect our existing systems into a single operational view, allowing us to solve crimes faster, improve transparency and accountability, and to better support officer wellness. The recommendations come after closely reviewing how we operate today, where we lose time, and how we can better leverage the city's current investments. Hang on a second. Today we have strong systems, but they operate independently. If an officer is searching for a person or a vehicle, they often check multiple databases, and the key information like CAD notes and body cam transcripts is not easily searchable. Because these systems don't communicate, officers and valuable time manually piecing information together increases the risk that critical details are missed. Peregrine solves this issue. To be clear, we currently do not have any system that allows us to do this. Peregrine would sit on top of our existing databases and index them from one unified view. Under this agreement, we will be integrating all of our major operational, administrative, and digital evidence systems into a single search bar. It makes the entire process simpler, efficient, and truly data-driven. It essentially acts as a Google search for law enforcement. Importantly, this means searching for the actual text inside reports, CAD notes, and body cam transcripts, not just report numbers. This gives officers and detectives real-time intelligence and significantly streamlines investigations. The most important impact is investigative. This platform acts as a force multiplier without adding staff by automating link analysis between suspects, vehicles, and associates, work that used to take hours to days. Now these connections are made in seconds, helping us identify leads faster and providing the state's attorney with organized, court-ready evidence. Beyond individual cases, the platform improves how we see the big picture across the city. Currently, we lack the ability to visualize crime trends in real time without manual reporting. With Peregrine, we can view crime data by council districts, NOPT areas, specific neighborhoods, using live data. This allows us to respond more effectively to residents' concerns with accurate real-time information. This assists us strategically, specifically with redistricting our sectors and NOPT boundaries. By analyzing the data, we can ensure that our patrol sectors are balanced and efficient. This ensures that we are assigning officers exactly where the workload demands rather than relying on historical guesses. Internally, the system also supports officer wellness through an early intervention system. By monitoring data points like critical incident exposure, internal affairs data, and sick time usage, leadership can identify risk trends early and provide support before these issues escalate, helping us prevent burnout and reducing liability. This does not replace supervision or policy. It simply provides earlier visibility. Kind of an example is, in law enforcement, we see a lot of things. We see the worst of things. We see crashes, where, babies, pass away, or children. Even our recent tragic incident that we had. These officers are sitting there going there day to day, and they see this, and it affects them. And we've done a tremendous amount of work to sit there and make sure that we take care of our officers. But sometimes they're not getting the help they need, and we need things to sit there and kind of track what they're doing. So part of this wellness thing is very important, because we would be able to track the type of calls that certain officers have gone on, compared to their sick bank if they're calling a lot of time, even to their discipline, to the fact that maybe they're not dealing with what they've dealt with over time. So again, this is going to be a very, very helpful tool. And kind of going back, and I know I'm kind of going off the script here, but even going back to this data mapping here, like looking at how we visualize data within the city, crime, calls, or service, we'd be able to do this in a very visual format. And we'd be able to answer questions about what's going on in neighborhoods in a more reliable and more up-to-date fashion, without having to sit there and rely on someone else to pull the data for us. We have it readily available to us. I'm going back to this. So from an executive level, command staff can make evidence-based decisions in real time using role-based dashboards. Access is strictly controlled and permission-based, ensuring that information is only available to those who need it. Again, from a command staff standpoint, having data at our fingertips is essential. We have so many databases right now that we have to sit there and pull the information from. We can't do a lot of our own stats, like trying to figure out the average response time, to certain calls or certain areas. It takes a lot of manpower and a lot of work to do that. This will allow us to do it pretty much instantaneously through the data integration. So currently, more than 300 agencies are currently using this platform across the nation. Departments like Atlanta, Amarillo, and Menifee have measurable improvements in crime reduction, investigation speed, and arrest efficiency. These are real outcomes from agencies facing challenges similar to ours. There's a couple other examples on there. The question is, what does this mean for Joliet? In summary, this agreement delivers 7 key benefits. It maximizes your return on investment by leveraging technology we currently own. It's a force multiplier without adding staff. Reduces liability through proactive wellness support, data-driven policing based on facts, not guesses, instant transparency with real-time statistics, operational efficiency through automation, and secure CJIS compliant protection. We respectfully request your approval to proceed. Please note that this project is fully funded and allocated within the approved 2026 budget, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Mayor? Chris, did you personally have a chance to talk to any of the other police forces that are using this at this time?
Yes, that's how I became aware of it. I was talking to an agency in Spokane, Washington, and it was first started showing me what they were using for their agency, and that's what led me to their company. And then I went down the rabbit hole, and I started talking to multiple other agiencies. I talked to other agency in California. I think it was Glendale is using it. I know there's an agency in Florida, and I know Paul's a former or retired officer, and they implemented it within their agency. What agency was Florida? Sorry.
The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. So I was a customer before I was an employee of the company.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've talked to many agencies, and I have not found one agency yet that has said anything bad about it. They said it's been a game changer when it's been implemented in their departments.
So this should save a lot of time and man hours, Chris?
Absolutely, and the mere fact that we have data at our fingertips that we can sit there and share, obviously, with the council and the public, is huge.
So Chris, I take it this would be an icon on your computer in the squad that you would hit on and start from there, something of that nature?
It's web-based,
Okay.
so it would be in a web browser. But what it do is it was integrate all of our databases together, so we can sit there and pull information from our CAD system, our record system, our crash system, our ticket system, adjudication tickets. We're also looking to integrate our time management in there, again, for sick leave. There's a couple other ones that I'm not forgetting, but
So
it would,
they can coordinate with, ours are coordinatable, if that's a word?
yes, they can be integrated. Yes, there's APIs that can sit there and integrate all the data into one, and this is what this company's been doing since about 2018, and they've grown since then to where they're almost close to 400 agencies now, about 350 or so. But yeah, it's been very eye-opening. We did several demonstrations with this, and again, talking to different agencies. It's very, very impressive what this system can do.
Yeah.
Chief, is there a way we could see a demo of this? Like in the near future?
We could certainly arrange a demo. We wouldn't be able to demo live data because we have to maintain the CJIS compliance, but we do have a demo platform that we could show you.
I think a demo would be important for everybody to see, and then also, what's the cost?
So the cost is about $200 a year, and we've allocated in the 2026 budget. So we already have the funding set aside for it.
And how long would it take to train our men and women?
Probably a day. I mean, I think it's pretty simple once everything's integrated and you sit there and you kind of, and probably it's simple on a day, but I'm saying it may take a little bit longer. But it's a very simple product. Once the data's in there and you sit there and you're looking, it's like a Google search for law enforcement. I know it's a very simple term, but that's basically what it is. And you can sit there and search all this data, and it comes at your fingertips, and you can also have it on your phone. So if you're out in the field on a call and you need to sit there and pull something up and you're not by your laptop, you can pull it there within seconds.
I mean, going from 200 to 400, it's obviously working. People are they're using it.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, if I understand it, Chris, it can identify trends within your data.
Yes.
So that, when you have serial robbers, we speed up that process quickly.
Absolutely.
And something that popped in my mind, it's going to help with what can be arduous sometimes, which is FOIA reports, right? People want a list of these intersections, how many accidents at it. Now we're just talking a click. With this new program, otherwise it's manually done currently, right? They have to go through and look it up.
Well, correct, and it'll help us find the information that's out there that we don't even know is out there. So if we're sitting there, say we get a FOIA and we do a search on it, it will allow us to figure out which databases they're in. Because this is probably not the best for FOIAs because you're probably going to want the original document is what they're looking for. Well, what it can do for us is say, hey, we need to go to this database, we need to go to this database, and we need to go to this report, then we can pull it up much easier. Instead of sitting there trying to go to one system and trying to pull up, and then it actually might be in one or two other systems.
All right, thank you.
The only thing is, I know we have this for public safety tomorrow, and I thought I was supposed to go to council for a vote tomorrow, so I'm not sure how we would do a demo before then unless we have to push this off.
I mean, is it critical to make it 2.5 more weeks?
I don't know, what do you think, Chris? If we push it one more council meeting?
I think we'd be good for that.
I think it is a good idea that we get a little better look at it. I mean, I know it's a great investment, but we do want to see it.
Absolutely. Would it be public safety in 2 weeks? I'm not public safety, I'm sorry, pre-council.
This should really go to the CTIS committee.
I have it on public safety tomorrow.
It's on tomorrow. And then
Yeah.
maybe
Oh, well, if we're not going to pass it though, then we can.
CTIS meets Wednesday morning. I don't know if that works.
I can make it work.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak under citizens to be heard on an agenda item this evening?
Hey, everybody. Hey, sorry I missed you guys last meeting. I missed you guys. Hey, anyway, on this thing, agenda item number 108-26, this thing with the center point and their ongoing so-called phase 28 of their projects. I don't know how you keep allowing Centerpoint to go on and keep on doing their projects when we all know how badly they have affected the communities. You know, it's been nothing but lies from them all the way from the beginning, which I have been there from the very beginning, a Centerpoint coming to Joliet. A lot of you have not been. I have heard all the lies. I had been part of abused by it all. I've even had to where my boss was paid off in order to get me out of his place after he sold. Centerpoint offered him 6-digit figure to get me out. And therefore I had a fake conviction done to me and put in jail even for it. All because it was driven by Centerpoint. My boss later, when I had to go down and take care of him in 2018, admitted all this to me. That it was all paid off by Centerpoint. And even John O'Connor, when he was the state's attorney at the time, when me and my mother were trying to get my record cleared on this, told me that I got money from Centerpoint after my boss got his money. I told John Connor when he was state's attorney, no, I didn't get 1 penny from Centerpoint. You know, but he said it was on the record that I got paid money from Centerpoint. I said, no, it's your victim or witness there lying to you about it because I didn't get paid no money from Centerpoint. And my attorney, Ricardo Munoz, on the case for me, told me that, Centerpoint paid him 6-digit figure. And later on, like I said, in 2018, my boss admitted that to me when I had to go down and take care of him in Missouri. So I've been part of all the abuse with Centerpoint, and then when they built their DHL Mars Candy warehouse up the road from my mom's place. That was no public hearing on that. It was called Project Osprey. When that land did have a public hearing on it, it was supposed to be an LP refueling station. That's what that was approved of from the Joliet Council, was approved for, be an LP refueling station where they take in and fill up LP trucks, or fill up semi-trucks on LP. Next thing you know, this is a Mars Candy DHL warehouse that's being built, right at the top of the hill, right down the road from my mom's place. And when that thing opened, and still it is so noisy. It was so noisy, we couldn't sleep. My mom couldn't sleep, I couldn't sleep. I'm lucky enough I was able to get sleeping pills from my doctor, but when my mom, with all her medical conditions, she couldn't get sleeping pills. She ended up having heart trouble and everything. She ended up having a stroke and dying because of it. Her heart ended up giving out, and the whole main reason for it was because she was not able to get sleep from because that noisy Mars Candy warehouse was built that Centerpoint put in. I don't think Centerpoint should be allowed to keep on doing this stuff to people. Then they make my road, Vetter Road, a 4-lane highway. Needless to say, it was a 2-lane, peaceful 2-lane, no truck route. And they took and made it a 4-lane highway for their toll bridge. And it's a safety hazard because even though I'm not there anymore because Whimsy Trucking was allowed to come in, which, we all know the story of how they affected my life. I no longer live out there, of course, and I'm still suffering from it, all because of going all along with what all Centerpoint's projects have done. They allowed that road to be made a 4-lane highway, and it's still dangerous. There's still people that live out there. My former neighbors are still living out there. And they have to deal with these trucks every day going down Vetter Road, which the trucks should not be allowed to go down Vetter Road, which is now South Hobolt.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak on an agenda item this evening? Okay, seeing none. Next, we will have the city manager review tomorrow night's actionable items.
So tomorrow we will hear from the Land Use and Economic Development Committee, Public Safety Committee, and Public Service Committee. On consent agenda, Council Memo 8726, award a contract for overhead door repair at the 9 Osgood Street facility to Wonderluck Doors in the amount of $51,735. Council Memo 8826, approval of purchase and upfit of 1 new vehicle for the Investigations Division asset forfeiture detective not to exceed $65,000. Council Memo 8926, approval of purchase of 2 heavy-duty dump bodies from Henderson Products in the amount of $120,463.18. Council Memo 9026, approval of purchase of 6 Peterbilt chassis from JX Truck Center in the amount of $805,748.92. Council Memo 9126, approval of change order number 1 for the 2024 electrical maintenance assistance contract on behalf of Mead Electric Company, Inc. in the amount of $75,000 and payment request number 6 in the amount of $72,206.84. Council Memo 9226, award a contract for the East Side Wastewater Treatment Plant, influent pump, and 2 emergency repairs to Xylem Water Solutions USA, Inc. in the amount of $34,044.18. Council Memo 9326, approval of purchase of water metering equipment from Core Main LP for the not exceed amount of $350,000. Council Memo 9426, approval of purchase of replacement sluice gates for the East Side Wastewater Treatment Plant from LAI and Associates, Inc. in the amount of $43,468. Council Memo 9526, approval of the change order number 1 for the Heggie Park Water Main Improvement Project on behalf of PT Farrow Construction Company for adjustments to project completion dates. This is another time extension similar to the ones we've seen the last couple of weeks. Council Memo 9626, approval of change order number 1 for the Twin Oaks Phase 1 Water Main Improvement Project to M&J Underground, Inc. for a decreased amount of $138,007.89 and payment estimate number 5 and final in the amount of $508,410.55. Council Memo 9726, approval of amendment number 2 to the professional services agreement for construction engineering services for the 2026 water main rehabilitation program to Baxter and Woodman, Inc. in the amount of $223,400. Council Memo 9826, award a contract for Peregrine Technologies. So if we're holding on this, then we will hold it till the next meeting. Council Memo 9926, award a professional services agreement for ambulance billing services for the City of Joliet Fire Department 2026 to 2028 to EMS Management and Consultants, not to exceed $1 million for years 2026 to 2028. Council Memo 100-26, purchase of 12 Bullard QXT Pro Thermal images and 12 basic feature packs for the Joliet Fire Department from Dinges Fire Company in the amount of $91,140. So these are the thermal imaging that the fire department uses to, in fires to be able to identify if there are people in the building. We need to update those. We've got old ones. Moving on to agenda items. Council Memo 10226, award of contract number 2930-0126 for the Glenwood and West Acres Water Main Improvements Project to Austin Tyler Construction in the amount of $6,577,723.51. Council Memo 10326, award of contract number 2921-0126 for the Larkin Theodore to Glenwood Water Main Improvement Project to deconstruction in the amount of $9,302,064.21. Council Memo 10426, award a professional services agreement for construction-related engineering services for the 2026 Water Main Replacement Program and the 2026 Lead Water Service Line Replacement Program to Burns & McDonnell Engineering Company in the amount of $4,573,892.88. Council Memo 10526, purchase of 4 complete Horton ambulances from Foster Coach in the amount of $1,571,356 for budget years 2027 to 2028. So these things we have to order ahead of time. We have budgeted for it. Kevin just gave the clear for the chief to order. And so we'll be ordering those. It'll take a couple years to get in, but it will be for the 2027-2028 year. Ordinances, Council Memo 10726, ordinance approving an amendment to the final planned unit development of Prairie Landing subdivision, ordinance 18739, to allow additional house plans. So the purpose of this is to add 2 one-story house models with 8 total elevations to the set of approved house plans for the subdivision. So they're adding single-family ranch homes, 2 of them.
Just to be clear, thank you.
Yeah.
Just being clear, I've talked to about this. Anybody watching that lives in that area, we went through a whole process of getting our heads around what was going to be built there, and people, came to accept and approve it. Nothing's changing on the lot size. I don't want any, some rumors starting.
Right.
Nothing's changing on the lot size. Nothing's changing on anything in the plan except there's an additional 2 models with, I think, 6 or 8 variations, but 2 one-story models for those that don't want a 2-story house. Nothing else is changing. It's not condos, it's not townhouses, it's certainly not apartments. It's just 2 additional models of single-family homes. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Council Memo 10826, ordinances associated with the Centerpoint Intermodal Center at Joliet Phase 28. So the purpose of this is to split an existing undeveloped lot into 2 lots so that the floodplain and wetlands are on a separate lot from the buildable area.
Mayor? Is everybody here from Centerpoint? Yep. I'm just curious to know, what percentage are you guys built out now? It's got to be close, right? I mean, 80 plus maybe?
Yeah.
Just curious, to see how.
I don't have the exact. Jake and Karzik here on behalf of Centerpoint. I don't have the exact percentage. I think it want to say it's around maybe 8 million square feet left, 16 million built, somewhere in there, give or take.
But the whole project, from when you started many years ago,
Yeah, so there's, I believe, don't quote me exactly, but I think there's like 16 million square feet that's built, and I think there's 8 million square feet remaining that still needs to be developed.
Okay.
That would be 66%.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Got it.
That's not my thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council Memo 10926, ordinance approving a special use permit to allow a truck maintenance facility located at 3501 Shanahan Road. Interstate Freights is an over-the-road trucking business. The trucks are primarily out on the road for 2 to 4 weeks at a time and would come to the site for maintenance in between those trips as needed. Council Memo 11026, ordinance amending Chapter 12, Section 13G to impose lift assist fees in accordance with House Bill 2336. Chief, I think this one is worthy of you coming to explain. No, Carrie. Sorry, Chief Carrie.
Chief.
Chief. This is about the lift assist fees.
Yeah, good evening. I was just talking about this earlier tonight, and in 2020 when we did our first CRA, our mental health calls are 15% of our calls, falls are about 8%. Today our mental health calls are 9% and lifts are 18%. What happened was, about a few years ago, the nursing homes and assisted living facilities decided they didn't want to take that risk of hurting their employees, so anytime somebody fell uninjured, they were just going to call the fire department to pick them up. And it's not just Joliet, this is throughout the United States. So Illinois passed a law on January 1st of this year to counteract that we could start charging them actually up to half of our GMT rate to stop them from calling the fire departments. And actually, I think there's a part in the bill where if they do continue to, and one of us got hurt, there's a way to go after them for our workers' comp. They have the people to do it, they just don't want to hurt their employees, so they've been calling fire departments. Our calls for lifts were about 1,500 calls a few years ago. They were over 3,000 last year. And these aren't people who are hurt. They just slip out of their chair or roll it. And it's not residents' homes. This is in these assisted living facilities where they have people to do it. So fire departments all throughout the state are starting to do these ordinances to try to counteract that so we don't put the burden on us.
Perfect. Any questions for the chief?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Great, thanks, Chief. Carrie. Resolutions, Council Memo 11226, resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Joliet and the Will County Sheriff's Office. So the purpose of the MOU here is to ensure the use of the incendiary to properly dispose of all substances and narcotics. Council Memo 11326, resolution to accept and implement a grant from the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity under Public Act 103006, coming from Chief Evans. If anyone has any questions here, we can call Chief Evans up. Okay, no questions? That's the agenda for tomorrow.
Okay, next is public comments. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, seeing none, I did receive a request for closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition, or conveyance, pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried.